When my daughter-in-law threw my vintage leather suitcase onto the wet driveway, she smirked and told me to wear beige and stay quiet. She believed she was finally rid of the old woman. She believed the beautiful $5 million estate she lived in was hers. What she didn't know was that the deed was still in my name, and the company her husband was desperately trying to get promoted in. I owned 51% of it. If you want to know how a simple text message ended up costing my daughter-in-law her marriage, her home, and her reputation, grab a cup of tea and let me tell you the story of how I took back my life. My husband Arthur passed away 3 years ago, leaving me with a massive estate, a portfolio of investments, and our family legacy. My only son, Michael, married Chloe a year later. Chloe was beautiful, but she was obsessed with status. She wanted the perfect life, the perfect house, and the perfect friends. To help them start their life, I bought them a $5 million modern villa in the suburbs. Michael was ecstatic, but I decided to keep the deed of the house in my own name, under my family trust. It wasn't that I didn't trust them. It was just my late husband's golden rule. Never transfer real estate until you are sure of the foundation. Once they moved in, Chloe's attitude changed. She slowly stopped inviting me over. When I did visit, she would make passive-aggressive comments about my clothes, my age, and how my old-fashioned ideas didn't fit into her modern home. She began treating me like a guest who had overstayed her welcome, rather than the person who bought the house. I stared at my phone screen in shock. Wear beige and stay quiet. She was embarrassed by me. She wanted my money, but she didn't want my presence. I decided right then that I would attend the dinner, and I would wear exactly what I pleased. I arrived at the high-end French restaurant wearing a custom-tailored emerald green silk dress and my late husband's gold signature necklace. I did not wear beige. When Chloe saw me walk in, her face turned pale. She rushed over, grabbing my arm, whispering furiously, "What are you doing here? I told you this was for important executives only. We put your seat at the corner table near the kitchen." I quietly walked past Chloe and sat down at the head table. Chloe was about to make a scene when the glass doors opened. It was Arthur's old business partner, the CEO of the firm, Mr. Charles Vance. Charles walked past Michael, past the senior vice presidents, and came straight to me. His face lit up. "Margaret," he said, embracing me warmly. "I had no idea you were coming tonight. Arthur would be so proud to see how the firm has grown under your guidance." The entire table fell completely silent. Chloe stared in utter disbelief. Michael looked like he had seen a ghost. Charles turned to the board members and said, "For those who don't know, Margaret is the majority shareholder of this corporation. After Arthur passed, she took over the family trust. Without her approval, none of us would be sitting here today." After the dinner, Michael and Chloe followed me to my car, begging for an explanation. Chloe's voice was trembling, trying to apologize. "Margaret, I didn't know. It was just a joke. Please understand." I looked at her coldly. "You told me to wear beige and stay quiet in the house I bought at the company I own. You have 30 days to pack your bags. I am revoking your access to the villa." Michael tried to plead, but I stood my ground. I transferred the villa back to my trust's active listing. Chloe realized that her greed had cost her the very lifestyle she had mocked me to protect. Within a month, they moved into a small rental apartment. Their marriage couldn't handle the strain of their new financial reality, and they separated shortly after. As for me, I moved into my new cliffside Malibu mansion, enjoying the quiet waves and the company of real friends. I learned that sometimes you have to let people show their true colors before you paint them out of your life. Thank you for listening to my story. If you found this lesson satisfying, make sure to subscribe to Past Tense for more stories from the vaults.